Hello and welcome to the roundup of the Tennent's Premiership and Tennent's National Leagues. We've got action from the past 2 weeks of club rugby in Scotland, and we're going to start in the Premiership at Rubislaw. And as Scotland were warming up here to play South Africa, Edinburgh Accies made the long trip up the A90 to take on Aberdeen Grammar. Both sides had just met previously the week before at Rayburn Place, where Accies came out winners 28 points to 7. Accies looked to keep the momentum of last week's victory going, and they started off the stronger team in the first half. Prop Clem Lacour was the first on the score sheet. Jake Mills got the second try of the game in the corner. 15 minutes hadn't even gone by before there was the third try of the game from fullback Vincent Hart, who kept adding to the home team's woes. By the 20-minute mark, Accies had already matched last week's points haul with their fourth try. Callum Black got the bonus point, with Jamie Looms getting his fourth conversion of the game. Aberdeen were not down and out, however, and Greg Ryan crossed the line for the host's first points of the game. This spurred on Grammar, and Nathan Brown threatened the lead by adding another try as the half-time whistle blew.
Offside, penalty advantage.
But the capital side remained in control in the second half. Robbie Kent got his first and Accies' fifth try of the day. Grammar, however, did not back down, and Ben Renton came off the bench to score in the corner after some well-worked passes from his teammates. But Aberdeen could not find that bonus point try, and Robbie Kent got his second and Accies' sixth try of the day, proving their playoff credentials and leaving Aberdeen still winless this season. And despite a second half comeback, they fell short against GHA, losing by only just 7 points. GHA, on the other hand, will be happy with the 4 points as they start to climb their way back up the Premiership table. Another team who played 2 games over the international break was Selkirk. They got the better of border rivals Jed Forest on the 12th of November at Riverside as they won 21-9 under the Friday night lights. Both sides drew the week before at Philip Hall, but Selkirk and their forward strength proved too much for the home side. Despite that win, Selkirk could not topple Curry last Saturday. A dominant first half performance from the visitors gave them their 9th win in a row and cemented their title credentials. That win leaves Curry 5 points clear at the top of the table, while Accies' win at Aberdeen saw them climb to 3rd. Selkirk and GHA also climb up the table thanks to their wins. We are back with a full fixture list this weekend as Mar and Curry battle it out at Fullerton. Elsewhere, Jed Forest host an in-form Edinburgh Accies, while Musselburgh are looking for their first win in 6 games as they face Selkirk. To Tennent's National 1 now, and we saw 2 games played in the off week. Ayr defeated Biggar by 33 points to 19. Despite Biggar staging a small second half comeback, Ayr proved too powerful and powered on to put the game beyond doubt. Stirling Wolves almost provided an upset as they lost by just 1 point to Melrose. Despite losing by just 3 points at half time, Wolves came back to lead by 4 points with 10 minutes to go. But Melrose kept pressing and got their reward with a try from Aidan Cross to get the narrowest of victories. The visitors were back on the road this week as they travelled to Poinder Park on Friday night to take on Kelso in a Borders derby. A Borders derby under the lights got off to a perfect start for the home side as Terry Logan was the last in the maul to receive the ball before powering his way over the line for the points. A penalty from Melrose fullback David Colvine put the visitors on the scoreboard. but not before a penalty of Kelso's own by Murray Hastie increased the gap back to 7 points, and the hosts added more with 36 minutes played to put the difference by 10 points. With the score 10-3 at half-time, Melrose were looking for the perfect start to the second half, which they got. As the ball bobbled about over the Kelso 5-yard line, it was Struan Hutchinson to be the man to bring the score closer. But Kelso weren't done yet. Relentless pressure on the Melrose backs allowed Frankie Robson to get the interception. A kick to get the ball further up the field allowed for more ground to be covered, putting more pressure on the Melrose backs to get the ball. From the resulting box kick, however, it was blocked, and Andy Tate, using his pace and footwork, managed to kick the ball over the line to score. Melrose were hungry for more and closed the gap again as Invalesi Julian ran his way over the line to get their second. However, it wasn't to be for Melrose, and Kelso walked away with the 4 points. It was an exciting Borders clash as we reached the halfway point in the season. There were 4 other games in National 1 last weekend. Cartha provided another big upset this weekend as they beat title challenging Ayr. A back and forth encounter saw the hosts go 13 points clear with 4 minutes to go before Ayr snatched a losing bonus point. Cartha have now won their last 3 on the bounce to start their climb away from the bottom of the table. Highland got back to winning ways, dispatching Stirling Wolves in another tight encounter, winning by just 5 points. It's now the second week in a row where Stirling have lost the lead after being 17-5-0 up, as the travelling side made up for their loss to Gala last time out. Boroughmuir's slump continues as they lost their 8th game in a row despite putting in a hard performance against Dundee, losing by only 4 points. A spirited fight back was close, but Dundee held on to claim the victory. Watsonians are still looking for their first win of the season after losing again, this time to Heriot Blues in an Edinburgh derby. Blues, on the other hand, keep their winning streak up to 7 and increase the gap at the top of the table. Gala vs Biggar was unfortunately postponed, and as a result they dropped down the table. Ayr stay second despite their loss, and Kelso move up into 4th, only 2 points behind Melrose. Dundee's victory as well moved them 7 points clear of Boroughmuir and Watsonians at the foot of the table. The bottom 2 meet this week at Megaland, while across town at Golden Acre, Melrose will be looking to dethrone Heriot's Blues. Gala and Biggar are also on the road as they play Stirling Wolves and Dundee. There were only 2 games last week in National 2. GHK defeated Kirkcaldy by 17 points to 15, while Preston Lodge defeated Dumfries by 30 points to 13, meaning that Preston Lodge now climb up to 5th in the table. They were only a point behind Peebles and level with Falkirk. GHK's win coupled with Dumfries' loss means now the gap between them is 9 points. Second place Stuarts Melville will look to close the gap on the top this week as they travel to Glasgow Accies. Elsewhere, Gordonians take on Newton Stewarts and White Craigs take on Peebles. There are 5 rescheduled fixtures in National 3 across the last 2 weeks. Big wins for Hillhead and Berwick were also tied in with Ardrosson's first win of the season against fellow strugglers Strathmore. Last Wade made it 10 wins from 10 this year as they beat Hillhead to increase their lead at the top of the table to 12 points. Berwick, West of Scotland, Hillhead, Jordan Hill and Howe Fife closely follow them. In our full fixture list this week, West of Scotland travel to Hillhead, Jordan Hill. Elsewhere, Ardrossan Accies will be looking to make it 2 on the bounce as they travel to Strathmore. So as we reach the halfway point now in the season, things are starting to settle in as Curry, Heriot, GHK and Lastwade all lead the way in their respective leagues. However, there's still plenty more rugby to be played and plenty more action to come. We hope to see you next week as we bring a full round of fixture from across the Tennent's Premiership and National Leagues. We'll see you then.